away from the truth. Again, folks, the truth of these weapons are not really discovered at Creech Air Force Base, but where they land. Kathy, it's with great privilege that you are our speaker, and you can share some of that truth that we are desperately needing here. Thank you.
Good evening. I just want to do a sound check and make sure everybody can hear me. Is this working okay? Great. 2 Saturdays ago, I gave a talk in Chicago. I was chattering away with my friends at the Chicago State Subway Station and didn't notice that somebody had pickpocketed me. I got 2 passports and a baptismal certificate and even passport photos. So it was kind of an ideal setting for someone to set up a new identity, but a moment of mercy for the poor soul that might be trying to set up their identity. Just like that credit card. But it's a privilege to be here with you, with this particular community in this very, very important time in our lives together as peacemakers, and to have heard the people's names read out and know that we're in a room together where, I think, shoulder to shoulder, we don't find it so burdensome, knowing that there are many, many tasks ahead, but that we are all part of one another. And to Father Steve of the parish, thank you so much for gathering us here together this evening as well. You know, I grew up in the 50s in the kind of environment, whether it was kind of cookie cutter, I think, whether you were Italian or Irish, but something about our setting was that, I use the word fatalism. We all sort of knew that it was okay to talk about a problem. It was okay to analyze it. But if you thought that you were going to do something about it, you were acting too big for your britches. Now, I never quite figured out what acting too big for your britches even meant, and when we didn't talk about wearing our britches at all, but we all knew that phrase, a certain kind of fatalism. And it dominated my life for quite some time. I was a very, very late bloomer. But I did have glimmerings in those teenage years. Very, very important glimmerings, really. I would like to tell you that what started to form my conscience was living through the riots in my own high school, where civil rights was not coming easily as a campaign. But that wouldn't be true. I never stood up. I never spoke out. I shed tears. I'd like to tell you that my conscience was formed and I moved toward action during the Vietnam War, when I can so clearly remember the look on Ken Yad's face when he opened that envelope and realized he was going to Vietnam. But that prompted me to stand up, to overcome that fatalism. But when I think back, the nugget, if you will, what most grabbed my heartstrings and kind of made the grooves for an ethic that said you should never, never, never sit on your hands in the face of an unspeakable evil. You should never be a bystander. In fact, came from reading the novels of those very brave people who picked up their pens when they emerged from the death camps in Auschwitz, Bergen-Belsen, the Russian death camps, Dachau, watching the film Night and Fog. I knew in a deep groove within my being that I never wanted to be a bystander, to sit on my hands in the face of an unspeakable evil. And I think that knowledge perhaps came back to me full force when I was in Hansa most recently. As Frank said, I was Bill Quigley and Audrey Stewart went into Hansa. We arrived during the last 3 days of the very, very intense bombing. And it happened that, I should also mention to you that bombing was so intense that at night, from 11 o'clock at night to 1 o'clock in the morning, a bomb fell once every 11 minutes. We timed it. And then there was a lull, and then again from 3 until 6, a bomb, once every 11 minutes. But that was like slow motion compared to the very first day of that 20 involves the first day